Hello everybody, this is Donnie. Thanks for tuning back in again today. Today is patch day again, and it is 7.15, 7.15 patch, and we've got some interesting changes to the game that I'm just going to go over real quick so you can stay up to date and get an advantage on those other people who didn't read the patch notes. So the first thing, and this is actually a fairly big change, is that bounty runes now spawn every 5 minutes. So that is a lot less gold on the map. That means that roaming is nerfed even farther. But the interesting thing is that now bounty runes are all going to be like the initial bounty rune, where you get gold for your entire team. And so anybody on your team picks up a bounty rune, everybody on your team gets 40 gold, plus 3 gold per minute. So as the game gets longer, obviously your team gets more gold. Another change is that bounty runes now fully fill a bottle. So you can see if I use this, now I have a full bottle. So bottle is definitely a better item now, and it also has gotten buffed where it heals for 100 health and 50 mana per charge instead of 80 and 40, which is what it was before. So definitely, I think, especially for offlaners, bottle is really good because you can buy it from the secret shop. So we can see that melee creeps base bounty gold has been reduced by 2. So, I mean, you're not going to, like, unless you have the numbers memorized, you're probably not going to see the change there. But it just means that there is 2 less gold on average from each melee creep and 1 less gold from each range creep. So 3 gold per wave has been removed. And then additionally, range creep gold bounty increase per upgrade has been changed from 1 to 3. So basically what's happening is you're going to be getting more gold as the game goes along from range creeps, but initially you're going to be getting less. And Valve notes that you will get a total of 2,052 less gold at 40 minutes overall. So while the gold per range creep does go up as the game goes on, overall you're going to be getting 2,052 less gold. And I assume that's per side. I don't think that's overall, but it might be. It's not specified. Additionally, melee barracks bounty has been reduced by another 50 gold. So if you remember a couple patches ago, maybe even the last patch, melee barracks were reduced in terms of their bounty. You'll get less of a boost as a team, and that just means that the game is being slowed down. There's less gold from creeps, less gold from barracks. The courier is worth less gold, so sniping it is still really good, but it just doesn't give you quite as much. It was a little OP before. Tower denies now remove all gold instead of just half. I didn't even realize that that was the case, but if a tower is denied, then now no gold is given to the other team. So tower denies are extremely important now. So you should always be defending your towers, and you should always be trying to defend your towers and deny them if possible. Agility heroes base strength has been increased by 1, so now agility heroes will have slightly more HP. Intelligence heroes base intelligence reduced by 2, except for Bane, so their damage will be lower and their mana pool will be lower. Neutral camp stack bounty has been increased to 25%. I think this started at 10 or 15% when it was first introduced, so Valve is really trying to push this whole narrative of support stacking camps and getting gold that way, which is interesting. I mean, I think that you should always be trying to stack if possible, but I'm curious just how high this needs to go before people really start putting an emphasis on it, because I feel like when I do stack for my team, it really doesn't make that big of a difference for my own goal. It's just a small increase. But now with 25%, imagine that you stack an ancient camp 4 times and your carry clears it. Now you basically get a full ancient camp worth of gold, which is actually a pretty big deal for a support. You know, that's probably like the equivalent of almost boots or a handful of wards and some support items as well. Ancient HP regen has been increased from 8 to 12, so now you really need to finish the ancient off because it will regen. Again, it looks like Valve is trying to slow the game down, even at the very later stages. Like if you defend your ancient, you're mega creeped, your ancient is still going to regen probably back to full by the time that the other team is able to come back into the base and attack again. Observer wards restock cooldown has been reduced by 15 seconds so that they now respawn slightly faster. Also, they cost 75 gold each instead of 80, so now another buff to supports, really. Enchanted Mango HP regen has been reduced from 0.7 to 0.6. The item is still really good, but they're just trying to balance it because it was kind of overtaking Clarity's as being the better item. Roshan's slam damage has been increased. The base damage from Roshan has been increased, and his base health has also been increased. So again, Valve trying to slow down the game, making it harder to take objectives, making it harder to end the game early with a early Roshan push, because your heroes now need to be stronger to actually take Roshan and get the Aegis in the first place. The power-up runes have been changed a little bit, where we can see that I believe that it used to be like right here, and now it's closer to the mid lane, and it's like right underneath both of these ramps. They also have changed the spawn boxes of a few neutral camps. I think that this one got smaller. This one looks about the same. These all look fairly... You're not going to really notice this too much. I think maybe that... This one honestly looks a little bit bigger. 2 stack camps might have changed a little bit, so just test it out in your own games. We also have that the Dire Tier 1 tower has been moved slightly down. Again, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it might have been just like, you know, very slightly up farther, but essentially what that does is it makes it a little bit minusculely easier for the offlaner to get back into safety. We also have the shrine being moved down a little bit. It used to be like right here, and that is just to keep the distance between this and the tower the same, I would imagine. This tower has been moved back towards the Dire base a bit. I think previously it was like right around here, so this is actually a fairly significant deal. And then another change is that ranged creeps now spawn directly behind melee creeps, so we'll just watch this spawn right here. And this, I think personally, this actually makes it maybe a little bit more consistent to block. I would imagine it just makes it a little bit more consistent to block because they kind of spawn more in a line initially. Oh, and then finally, Captain's Mode round time has been increased from 30 to 35, and the pick ban phase order has been changed to be flipped of what it used to be second, first to first, second. Obviously, that doesn't affect pubs very much, but they are changing the pick and ban order, so we will see some slightly different drafting probably from the pro scene. So, in conclusion, the biggest changes are the bounty rune change and just the general removal of gold from the map. So what does that mean? That means that securing towers is very, very important because they can get denied now and there is less gold overall. So killing the tower and actually getting the last hit on it is more valuable than it was before. It also means that securing every last hit is more important. It means that a hero like Alchemist is probably buffed because he has a farm accelerator. It could indirectly buff Midas a little bit. I think one of the changes that Valve is trying to push is that the supports should be using that time to go stack camps, because obviously that bounty has increased if you stack the camp, and now there is less incentive for you to go just run around and pick up bounty runes. So you really should be stacking the camps. Also, everybody generally needs to be more efficient with what they're doing because there's less gold overall on the map, which means that the pace of the game has slowed down. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was informative and that it helps you win some games. This is patch 7.15, and we will see you next time.